Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs you and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate here in Colorado with Colorado's real estate authority, that is Barb Schlinker. She's a retired Navy veteran. She's an author. Barb is a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice, the show, every Saturday. Barb is the host of the program, and if you can't listen to the entire show, it's available on barbhasthebuyers.com. That'll link you over to other sites, or you can just search Barb Schlinker on all of the podcast sites like iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Every week, Your Real Estate Voice covers great information about people's assets, their home. Barb, what are we talking about today?
Well, I'm actually excited about these topics today because it involves many of the questions that we get from our clients. The number one topic we're going to cover is what to fix and what not to fix to get your house ready for sale. And then we're going to cover a question that we get all the time. People wonder if their Zillow's estimate of their home value is accurate. And we're going to talk about why their estimates are not accurate. And sometimes they're really, really far off. And then the third topic we're going to talk about is the top 7 reasons to hire us to sell your home. And the very last topic is a dilemma that a lot of home sellers that want to buy have at this time. They have low interest rate loans. They want to buy their next home, but they can't find their perfect home. So they're just not moving. That's one of the reasons why the housing inventory actually is a little bit low. And then, of course, I love talking about our hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, now, if someone is thinking of selling their home, biggest asset, biggest transaction they'll probably make in their entire life, what are some of the top things a home seller should fix, and what should they not fix to prepare their homes for sale?
Well, Richard, that's part of what our services include. So we'll come over and actually give you tips on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. We also have a whole series of videos that we put on my YouTube channel, Barb Has the Buyers YouTube channel, about this. And every home is different. Every home has different needs, but you have to see the whole picture. You can't just look at your house and go, okay, I'm going to do a full-on remodel. When homes in that price range, no matter what you do to remodel, it may not bring a good return on your investment. So we give you tips on what not to do and what to do when we come over and do a free in-home consultation. And not all improvements will actually add value to the bottom line. It actually depends on the price range of the home, what your current competition is, the current market conditions. There's a lot of factors. Let me give you an example. I had a listing recently that was, when I first saw it, it was built in the mid 50s and it looked like it. In fact, it had a original double oven. I didn't even know they made double ovens in the 50s. I thought It was cool.
Yeah.
However, it looked very, very dated. And so we were going, we talked about what to do, what not to do. I said, definitely flooring, because it had the original orangey looking carpet. One of the bathrooms was not remodeled. It was pink. Remember when pink was in style,
gosh.
Richard?
Yes, I'm old enough to remember that. In fact,
it had pink tile, a pink toilet, pink tile on the sink.
Ouch.
I thought it was kind of cool, actually.
If you had a whole retro thing going, it would be good, but yeah.
Anyway, so there was that issue. And there was also, the master bath had some updates, but the kitchen was probably the biggest issue. So what the seller decided to do, since it was his line of work, is he remodeled the kitchen. And oh my God, it looked so fabulous when it got done. Beautiful soft close cabinets, gorgeous matching granite counters, all new appliances. It was a wow transformation. So we were going to go more leaning to the as-is side, which is a different price to a home with a remodeled kitchen and new flooring and fresh paint. So when I saw the end product, it was like the big reveal. It looked amazing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's go to the top of the price point. And I thought that would work, but there's a limit to it. So we priced it where we thought it would really move based on its current value now after being updated. And we had showing after showing, people loved it, but there was no offer. And all we had to do in that case was just lower the price just 1%, and boom, we put it under contract. So sometimes it's tiny tweaks, but you still can't push the price envelope, even if you're putting expensive upgrades into a home. Some of the things that are considered cost recovery, this is a study done by the National Association of Realtors. Generally, if you're going to spend, say, $38,000 rehabbing a home, are you going to get all that money out of it? No, maybe not. Sometimes you're doing it just in order to make the buyers want to buy the home. I was in a home just last weekend that was pretty much ransacked by the tenant. It was bad. The flooring was super destroyed. The bathrooms looked terrible. There was drywall pulled out. There were plumbing leaks that were left unattended. It was a mess. And so just to get it passable, not even upgraded, just passable, it was going to cost about $30,000. Now, will they get it? Probably, because it's in a good location. However, if they go as is, they might get more return on their investment, price it a little bit lower, get all of those fix and flip buyers to buy it and put their own twist on the home. So that might be a better return on her investment. And that's part of what we do. And I actually sat down with them and showed them, okay, if you put $30,000, it would look similar to this home that was the same floor plan that just sold. It would probably sell for that price point. But if you didn't put $30,000 and you let some fix and flip investor do that themselves, which they might be able to get all those repairs at a lower price, you actually may net a little bit more money doing it that way. So I did two different net sheets, and you really have to look at the pros and cons. I find people that are doing remodels that don't have the skills tend to overpay for remodel work. And sometimes they'll find things that they weren't expecting. Like when I was in the house in that particular home, I noticed all of a sudden the crawl space got wet. Well, that's because the downspout was pointed the wrong direction and put water in there. But it also smelled like they let the cat go in there in the crawl space, right? Yeah. So it's another thing, it's just sometimes you reveal different things as you're doing a rehab. Now, taking care of anything that's what I consider deferred maintenance is just to bring it up to standard to sell it. Those things that would be deferred maintenance, I'm not talking about a remodel. Like I sold a house a year or two ago that was built in the 70s. It had not been updated. However, it was immaculate. It looked like a brand new home. It's like I went back in time into the 70s. The home was kept up so well. It didn't need to be remodeled. It just needed to show well. And that's all we did. And we still sold it for top dollar. By deferred maintenance, I mean things like the carpet has dark brown track marks, right? That you can see obvious broken tile in the shower, or you can see mold in between the tiles in the shower, which is an indication that water got behind the towel. Can't speak today. That water got behind the towels and actually created some mold back there that really has to be resolved, because kitchens and baths and flooring are the things that you're absolutely going to get the most return on your investment. I remember speaking one time to somebody that handled a lot of what we call corporate sales or asset managers. This was back in the days when there were a bunch of bank-owned homes, and those guys are in the habit of selling thousands of homes across different marketplaces. So they've seen a lot of the turn and burn on these houses and what makes them sell and what doesn't make them sell. They probably have more experience than most people I know with stuff like that. And one of the things that he told me is, he goes, I need you to be brutally honest with me if the carpet needs to go. The carpet cost might be $5,000, But if a buyer sees that, if they make an offer at all, it's going to be at least $20,000 or 4 times the cost of the carpet to do that repair. So sometimes the little things can make all the difference in the world, because the buyers just want to move in, drop their stuff, get on with their lives. They don't necessarily expect a completely rehabbed home. They want a home that's in good enough shape that they could live in it and maybe do upgrading, etc., at their own pace. But here are some things that you should be fixing. Peeling paint on the outside. In the Colorado Springs market, we have a lot of military buyers. Probably about 30% of the buying population is getting a VA loan. It doesn't matter what age the house is. If they find peeling paint on the outside, the VA appraiser is going to ask for it to be taken care of. Broken windows, missing stair rails, any safety trip hazards. Normal wear and tear is okay. There's no problem with that. I just sold a home today, in fact, that had older carpet in the basement. So all they did was replace the carpet on the stairs that had track marks, and it looked amazing. Any hardware scratches are probably okay. A lot of people ask me about paint. Now, paint should only be handled if it's really, really dramatic, especially in the key rooms like the living room, the kitchen, the master bedroom. Those spaces, you don't really want dramatic paint. If you have dramatic paint in a kid's bedroom, I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's just a kid's bedroom. But if you have dramatic paint in the living room, that's another story. Also, rooms like the big trend that was going on in the late 90s, early 2000s was faux paint. Remember faux paint, Richard?
Yes, it is a little dated.
It's dated now. It's pretty though. Some of them still look good. So it depends on the room, the scale of how much was done, and even things like wallpaper are coming back in style. But I would say it's better to make it go a little bit more neutral. So if you're thinking of remodeling, give us a call at 719-301-3900. That's what we help people do every day to decide what to do and what not to do to get their house ready for sale. The rooms you absolutely should focus on are curb appeal, backyard, living room, kitchen, master bathroom, and master bedroom. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and she is the founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You can always reach her at 719-301-3900. And if you're in the car, can't listen to the entire show, don't worry about it. You could always catch Barb on her YouTube channel. Barb Has the Buyers. And Barb, what are some other things that home sellers should not do to get their home ready for sale?
Typically little things like a minor driveway crack, it's just no big deal, just seal it in. Grandfather building code issues you don't have to worry about. You really don't have to do extensive upgrades to get the home sold, just make it livable. A lot of people ask me about popcorn ceilings. As long as it looks okay, don't worry about it. It could be very expensive to repair that. And just, another thing that could make a big difference in terms of a home looking dated or not are the heavy drapes. The heavy, colorful drapes are really out of style. Just taking those down and neutralizing that wall is a huge thing. And outdated appliances, it doesn't really matter. They should be functional, they should be clean, and they should match. That's about it. So if you are thinking of making a move, give me a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker, You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Barb is the host of the program. When we come back, we'll be talking with her and discussing why Zillow home value estimates are inaccurate. Stay tuned.